Hi everyone, back again, and for this video I want to talk to you about the opportunity to help regulate your polyvagal nervous system, courtesy of the vagus nerve, which runs through your body from your gut to your head and of course from your head to your gut. And based on this little superhighway of information, our bodies get the sense of exactly what's going on and how much stress we're under and perhaps what resources we need to deploy in order to fight, or to flee, or maybe to freeze. All of us have heard of fight, flight, or freeze before, and normally, we attribute that to the amygdala, that little, almond-shaped structure in our brain that's pretty much a prehistoric part of our brain and has always been in charge of eat or be eaten, right? So, but basically the vagus nerve is like the superhighway where all of that gets transmitted. And I'm going to show you a little graphic in a second that will help you see the effects of that in your system. But what I want you to know at the beginning is that in our modern world, stress is now interpreted as danger. So, it's not just deployed when the car in front of you slams on their brakes, or, you hear a gunshot and you duck, or maybe you're out hiking and a rattlesnake crosses your path and you freeze. Essentially, those are appropriate uses of sudden responses to keep yourself safe. But I feel like it's kind of like a toilet, that the seal is broken and that toilet is running and it doesn't stop. And in our modern world, like I said, that is stress that just keeps those hormones and adrenaline and cortisol running through our system. So it's really in our best interest to prevent wear and tear on our systems, to know how to slow it down, how to get back in control, and how to manage your own response to stress. Okay, so here comes my little picture of the vagus nerve, and I'm going to have to hide behind it here and hope that you can see it. So basically what's happening here is you can see the yellow. Now check it out. Not only is it obvious, where the nerve connects, it's feeding out like little tendrils into each of our organs. And so that's why we have stress-related diseases. Anything that's vulnerable is going to possibly wear out. And that's when we end up with diabetes and hypertension and heart disease and all of those kinds of things. So I just wanted you to get a real picture here of it, of the effect of this on our bodies. So now I'm going to turn the card over, and I wanted to talk with you very quickly about how to get a handle on this so that you can handle real threats, COVID-19, and perceived threats as well. What's our life going to look like after this? How are my kids going to remember what's going on? How am I financially going to survive? Those are all threats that we don't have any answers to, but we certainly are perceiving them. So I wanted you to realize that it doesn't really matter if it's a real threat or a perceived threat. Your body treats it exactly the same. Okay, so let's see how this looks over here. So this is the other side of the card. And I'm going to just hope that you can you can see this, but this is going down in 3 zones. When we can live in the safety zone, which if we put it on a pain scale or units of disturbance would be 0 to about 2.5 or approaching 3, our bodies are in the safety zone where things can be calm, relaxed, you can be organized, and you can basically be tolerant and connected to people. That's going to help your immune system. But if we jump up on that pain scale and move from 3 up to about 6, we've got all kinds of things happening there that you're probably noticing now. You've got, got all kinds of feelings going on, and you can read them there. But that is what we call the danger zone, and that is also going to be compromising your immune system. Then when we jump up to 7, 8, 9, and 10, that is what we consider to be the life threat zone. That's when you are dissociating and panicking and feeling completely depressed and disorganized and numb. So what we want to do is make sure that you spend very little time here at all, because obviously spending time here is going to make your immune system begin to fail. So the purpose of the rest of this is going to be to show you how to drive yourself down from here to here to here. Okay, so here is the tool that I use to do that. I have this little card that basically I use all the time. And so on this side, we're going to start here talking about the polyvagal autonomic system, and then turning it over and helping you to realize how you can drive yourself down into the safety zone. So let's start here first. On this side of the card, basically what you just ask yourself is, what state am I in? And you can probably see some different words there, but for my purposes, I'm just going to say you're anxious. Okay, so then you stop and you say to yourself, on a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 is neutral and 10 is end of the world, worst I can imagine. Okay, really the worst you can imagine. What am I right now? And I'm going to say that most of us are living somewhere in the 7 to 8 range. I'm just going to use that. Okay, so then if you turn the card over and you have a look at this little meter, check it out. Living at 7 to 8, that puts you in the life threat zone. And that is where you really cannot sustain that and expect to stay healthy and focused. So what we want to do is drive you down from this. And there is an absolute way you can do that for yourself. But this is a way that you can check and see that it's really happening. So you think you're a 7 to an 8. Okay. So what are you going to do that's going to help drive it down into the danger zone? Well, one of the ways to do it is to do a slightly different form of the breathing I taught you in the earlier videos, where you just come in through your nose and out through your mouth slower than it went in. But this is called putting on the vagal brake. Basically, you need to breathe like this, in through your nose and then out with some energy. So not a peaceful exhale, but a forceful one. So I'm going to do it like that. Okay. And then when your body is ready, because we don't want you to hyperventilate, do it again. And when your body is ready, do it again. And then ask yourself, okay, all right, what do I notice now? What number am I at? Well, maybe, just maybe, you've dropped down a little bit. Now check it out. You're still in the danger zone. So you do need to consider other things that work for you to help bring this number down. Now, just to say, we'll stay here, pause here for a second, but look, being in the safety zone doesn't mean 0. I'm not expecting you to just slide right down into something neutral, but living at 0, 1, 2, and maybe approaching 3 is a very much a better place for your body to be. So you can cope with that a whole lot better than you can cope with your body's effects up here. So think to yourself, what else do I need to do? Do I need to get in the shower right now? Do I need to get a drink of something and look around at something I enjoy? Do I need to ground myself? Remember, I taught you how to do that. 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear. What do you need to do to bring yourself down along with good breathing? So if you continue to drive this down, you may notice that you're hovering around a 5, but check it out, you are on your way down. What else do you need to do to catch yourself, settle yourself down, and tell your vagus nerve that it can stand down and it doesn't need to light you up? So just bring it down into here. Now I have probably 50 of these little cards. And I am happy to share with somebody if they would really like it. Otherwise, maybe I recommend that you take a screenshot of this video, and I'm just going to pause so maybe you can get your camera out and do that. And then I'm going to turn it around in a second so that you can catch a screenshot of the other side. So what we are doing is regulating your nervous system, and this is a meter that's going to help you do that. So here's the other side, and hopefully it is in focus. Let me get my fingers out of the way here, where you ask yourself, what is my emotion? What number am I at? Okay, and then turning it around again, find yourself on the grid and start working to drive it down. Okay, so essentially, I know this is a bit longer video, but you are assisting your nervous system to get back into the safety zone. And you can do it by assisting that self-correct. And it will work for you, okay? It just does, but you have to use it and practice it and realize that indeed you can notice what's happening. All right, so I hope this is helpful. It's a bit longer a video today, but I'm just hoping that it will be helpful for you. Thanks a lot. There's your heart.